What's up guys? Today we're taking a look at the Origin Effects Halcyon Green Overdrive. Right off the bat, I just want to say that the Halcyon Green Overdrive comes in green, which you've probably most commonly seen, as well as the black edition, which you're looking at today. The Halcyon Green Overdrive is a classic low-gain pedal based on the Ibanez TS-808 Tube Screamer. While the Ibanez Tube Screamer came out in 1979, it's been beloved by fans of all genres. The Ibanez Tube Screamer is famous for its mid-forward voicing. Now, classically, this helps you push the front of your amp, or it helps you get a little more edge when you need to for a solo. One thing I've loved about Tube Screamers over the years is their ability to tighten up the low end when you're putting it in front of a high-gain amp. Now, that being said, most of the time, the Tube Screamer is an all or nothing situation. You want it on or you want it off, just depending on what you're playing. The beautiful thing about the Halcyon Green Overdrive is the adaptive circuitry. It comes with 3 modes, and that allows you to keep your lows and your highs intact when you're playing softer or when you're rolling down your volume knob. This leaves room for you to have the Halcyon Green Overdrive on more often. The adapt circuitry in the Halcyon Green Overdrive really is responsive to your playing, how hard you're picking, the volume it's being sent from your guitar. It's going to allow you to keep your full tone intact, and that is huge in the world of Tube Screamers. You'll also notice that the Halcyon Green Overdrive offers 3 more features than the classic Tube Screamer. The classic Tube Screamer is going to feature a level, drive, and tone, while the Halcyon Green Overdrive offers you adapt, a voice switch, and a dry knob. This allows you to bring in some clean signal of your guitar tone. The classic TS-808 Overdrive offered a little bit of your dry signal, but this gives you full control. So let's get started. We're going to take a look at each knob and switch on the Halcyon Green Overdrive. We'll see what they do on their own, and we'll see how they work together. And lastly, I'll show you a part that I recorded with the Halcyon Green Overdrive. So let's take a look at the controls here in the Halcyon Green Overdrive. We'll start with what I believe to be the heart of this pedal, the main attraction, and that is this adapt feature here in the middle. The adapt switch enables the adaptive circuitry, and that's going to allow your pedal's mid-forward voicing to gradually fade away as the pedal cleans up. It's going to give you the classic TS-808 tone with your guitar cranked, but reveals the full spectrum of your clean tone as you roll back the volume knob. So in my preliminary testing, what I found is when this is all the way to the left, you're going to get that TS-808 classic tone. However, when they tighten up the low end, to me it's almost you lose low end. And that's not necessarily bad, especially if you're in the front of an amp. Maybe you're playing an 8-string guitar. For me, when I'm playing an 8-string guitar, it actually really tightens up the low end, makes the low string have a lot of attack. It sounds very precise. So I actually love that feature. However, if you're going to be playing some lead work, I think it's important that you can retain some of that low end. So when you have this switched to the left, there's no adaptive behavior. That's just going to be your original vintage TS-808. When you switch it to the middle, position 2, that's going to be full adaptive behavior. The pedal's treble and bass roll-off will be reduced significantly as it cleans up for a seamless transition between a mid-forward TS-808 overdrive and a full, rich, clean tone. Position 1 is going to be less adaptive than position 2. This setting still responds well to dynamics and volume changes, but maintains some bass and treble roll-off, perfect for keeping the low end tight and preventing feedback with high-gain tones. Now below that you have the voice switch. The voice switch gives you the ability to select either the classic T808 mid-hump or a brighter, more focused presence peak. The T808 setting is simply the standard voicing, while the mod setting, to the right, moves the mid-hump slightly further up the frequency range with a more resonant character. This can help maintain clarity with warmer pickups such as neck humbuckers. For metal players using the Halcyon Green Overdrive to tighten up a high-gain amp tone, the mod setting adds even more presence and bite. Top right, we have the drive switch. Turn this clockwise to increase the amount of overdrive. Origin recommends lower settings to be used when boosting an amp on the edge of breakup. When used with adapt settings 1 and 2, high drive settings can sound more natural than a typical drive pedal and will work well with a completely clean amp. Top left, we have level. This sets the output level from your pedal. One thing you could do with this is turn it clockwise or up to push the front of your amp. Origin recommends you keep this control set lower when using higher drive settings. Bottom right, we have tone. You'll turn this counterclockwise to roll off more high end. Lower settings will result in a typical warm lead tone, while higher settings will give a bright, cutting tone. It's worth noting with adapt settings 1 and 2, the effect of the tone control is reduced as the pedal cleans up, getting you back to your core clean tone. Now bottom left we have the dry setting. This controls the level of your clean guitar signal. In the noon position, the clean level is the same as in a vintage Tube Screamer. Turn this clockwise to help maintain body, clarity, and definition used with an overdriven amp. Turn this counterclockwise to remove the clean signal. This is recommended when using the pedal as a standalone overdrive pedal into a clean amp. Alright, so right now I just have a clean tone pulled up, so nothing crazy going on here. So we got everything set at noon. Let's see, we'll do adapt 0, typical 808, and everything at noon. Cool, so let's start with this adapt switch, because I think that, again, I think it's the most interesting piece here on this pedal. So I'm gonna play softly, roll off my volume just a little bit. Sounds good, but notice if I go to the right, adapt 1. Now I have a little bit more low end back in my tone. Now let's check out adapt 2. I feel like this pedal kind of rides with the song. So if you're playing really hard, you're going to get that TS-808 sound. But if you get to a part where you're picking softer or you roll back your volume knob, you're going to get all that frequency spectrum back, all that low end. You're going to get all that back, all that warmth back. And I think that's super valuable. All right, so we'll leave it on adapt 2. Let's check out the voicing feature here. So standard 808. All right, so again, we're on a clean tone. Let's check it out with no drive. Drive all the way up. Very cool. We'll check it out in the middle real quick. Let's check out the tone. All the way down. Just gonna roll off some high end. Bring it up to the middle. And all the way up. Alright, so the dry setting on this pedal is going to introduce more of your clean guitar DI in parallel with the TS-808 overdrive settings. Yeah, that's really cool and useful, and you can definitely hear it. You know, we're listening to it on a clean amp right now. I understand that's not the most exciting thing, but I really just want you to hear what the pedal's actually doing. But you can imagine the versatility that that dry knob is going to give you when you start bringing in higher gain tones, and we'll certainly check that out as well, but this is awesome. And then, yeah, this is simply going to be your output from the pedal. So you can see here at noon what the amp sounds like. And then you can see how much the amp is being pushed when I turn this knob up. So now I've pulled up a heavier tone. There's going to be some gain on this. This is what it sounds like without the pedal. And now we'll turn the pedal on. We have everything at noon. Let's start on the 808 and we'll do adapt off. Let's see what we can get with more drive. Drive all the way up. Awesome. Now let's add some tone. Let's go to the top. All right, so let's check out adapt again. Let's check out the mod. This is going to be the 808 and the mod. So let's bring the drive and tone back to the center, noon. Let's see what happens if we push the front of the amp with the level. let's check out dry all the way up. All the way off. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed what you heard today. I believe this pedal offers a new, versatile take on the classic Ibanez Tube Screamer. I've used tube screamers on and off for 25, 26 years now, and I can say that I'm very glad to have this new option on the market. I want to say thank you to the guys at Origin Effects for sending me this pedal. I absolutely love it. I'm excited to work with you guys again in the future. And finally, check out a riff that I recorded with the Halcyon Green Overdrive.